Welcome to NFL Talk. I'm Liam, and the Florida Gators, they've given us a lot to talk about this season, haven't they?
Hey everyone, I'm Olivia, and yeah, you said it. It's been a wild ride for Gators fans for sure. That 1-2 start. I mean, everybody was questioning everything, especially Coach Napier's future.
Right. I mean, you really don't see coaches surviving a season like this one, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Especially at a program like this.
Yeah.
I mean, the Gators have such high expectations.
Exactly.
And then, boom, out of nowhere, athletic director Scott Strickland, he just comes out and confirms Napier's back for a fourth season. It's a bold move, right? I mean, look, they're sitting at 4-4, and the bowl game's not even guaranteed.
Yeah, it really is a bold move. It shows a lot of trust in Napier, though, doesn't it? And commitment, too, to his long-term vision. You don't always see that in college football, do you? I mean, the Gators, they're clearly prioritizing stability over just like a quick fix. You know what I mean? Which, honestly, I think it's pretty refreshing.
Right.
It's refreshing in this whole era of instant gratification.
Yeah, for sure. And just think about the message it sends, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to recruits current players and the whole, college football landscape,
Yeah.
It basically says, hey, we believe in our coach.
Yeah.
Okay? We believe in the process, and we're not going to panic just because we had a few tough losses already.
Exactly. And it's especially significant, I think, considering all the challenges they've faced, Let's be real for a second, okay? The Gators have played one of the toughest schedules in the whole country.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, going up against top 25 teams practically every week.
Week after week, yeah.
I mean, even in those losses, though, you saw flashes of improvement, particularly against, those powerhouse teams like Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, while the record, it might not reflect it.
Yeah.
There are some positives to build on, It's not all, doom and gloom in Gainesville.
Absolutely not. And look at the young talent on this team. I mean, quarterback DJ Lagway, he's exceeded expectations as a true freshman. I mean, he's the real deal. He is clearly the future of this offense, And just the way he's adapted to the college game this quickly, it's amazing. It really says a lot about his talent and his work ethic.
He has been electric.
Yeah.
And you know what else? The supporting cast around him.
Oh, yeah.
Running back Jaden Bow, receivers Eugene Wilson III and Aiden Mazzell. These guys are all incredibly talented.
Yeah,
there is some serious offensive firepower brewing in the swamp.
And let's not forget about the defense. They've shown some real grit out there.
Oh, they have.
With young stars like Grayson Howard, Sharif Denson, and Aaron Gates really stepping up.
Oh, yeah.
There's a toughness there and a refusal to quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That speaks to the culture that Napier is building.
It's interesting, to compare Florida's situation to programs like Arkansas and Baylor, who both turn things around pretty drastically, right?
Right.
By heavily investing in the transfer portal, it makes you wonder, if the Gators need to be more aggressive in that area.
It's definitely worth considering, I mean, think about the cost of a coaching change. Napier's buyout versus investing in, attracting top talent through the portal. It's a big difference.
It is.
Plus, imagine the impact on the roster, especially with a young quarterback like Lagway.
Yeah.
I mean, a coaching change could have led to a mass exodus of talent. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like the Gators are doubling down on Napier's vision by committing to him long term, right?
Yeah.
And potentially, investing more heavily in the players he wants to bring in.
Right. And when you look at what they need next season, it's really all about retaining that core talent.
Yeah.
Especially Lagway, Bow, and Mazzell. Those guys, they're the foundation.
Absolutely.
Then it's about, filling those specific gaps. Maybe wide receiver with some key seniors graduating.
Yeah.
Potentially defensive tackle and safety, too.
Right. And all of that kind of brings us to Napier's recruiting record, which has been a hot topic among fans. I mean, some criticize it, right? But the upward trend, it is undeniable. That 10th ranked class for 2024, I mean, this is a major statement, especially considering all the uncertainty surrounding his future.
It shows that top recruits believe in what Napier is building, and we're already seeing the impact of his recruits on the field, especially on the defensive side.
Right. The young guys are definitely making their presence known. And now with his job secure, right? I mean, it wouldn't be surprising at all to see Napier close out the 2025 class strong.
Not at all.
He's already targeting some big names like four-star quarterback Tramel Jones Jr., who's committed to Florida State, and a couple other FSU commits, five-star offensive tackle Solomon Thomas and three-star guard Daniel Pierre-Louis.
Those are some ambitious targets.
They are.
But you can really sense the ambition there and the belief that Napier can build something special in Gainesville. The pieces are there. It's just a matter of putting them all together.
It really does feel like a turning point for the program, doesn't it? I mean, Napier's got the stability now to implement his vision, and you can see that progress on the field.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's not just about talent acquisition. It's also about his coaching philosophy, right? How he shapes this team's identity. We've seen glimpses of it, but I'm really interested to see how it evolves now that he's got, a firm foundation.
Yeah, me too. And I think, let's break down his offensive scheme a bit. We've seen flashes of its potential, especially with Lagway at the helm. But it hasn't fully clicked yet, has it?
Yeah, it's a fascinating system, isn't it? Rooted in those spread option principles he learned under coaches like Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney. But it's adaptable, too. Napier wants to be multiple, be able to run the ball effectively with a power running game, but also spread the field and attack through the air. So
it was a blend of pro style and spread concepts, right? Tailored to the strengths of his personnel.
Exactly. And remember, they're still installing the system. There are going to be growing pains, But we've seen those moments like in the win over Kentucky where Lagway looked incredibly comfortable running the offense. He's a perfect fit for this system with his, dual threat abilities.
He has shown he can make plays with both his arm and his legs. But consistency has been an issue a bit, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. They need to be more efficient on third down and avoid those costly turnovers. But I think as the players get more comfortable and the offensive line gels a bit more, we'll see more of those explosive plays. The potential is definitely there.
And they've got the personnel to make it work right. Lagway is obviously the key. But with Bow, Wilson, Mizell, there's a ton of talent in that skill group.
Oh, yeah. That offensive line is young, but they're improving. The talent is there. It's just a matter of experience and development at this point.
And on the defensive side of the ball, what's Napier's philosophy there? We've seen some really aggressive play, but also some inconsistency.
Napier wants to create havoc on defense. He's all about aggressive blitzing, disguising coverages, forcing turnovers. He wants to dictate the tempo, and put pressure on that opposing offense.
We've definitely seen that at times. The defense has had some big moments, big plays, but they've also given up some big plays as well.
That's the challenge with an aggressive defense, though, isn't it? It's about finding that balance between aggression and discipline. And I think that comes with experience. This is a young defense, but they're learning and they're improving every single game.
And they've had to face some of the best offenses in the country this season, haven't they? It's been a trial by fire, but that experience is invaluable.
It is, absolutely. It's one thing to practice against your own offense, but when you're going up against the elite week after week, you learn quickly.
So do they have the personnel to run Napier's system effectively on defense?
I think so, yeah. They have some really talented players in the front seven. Howard's a beast at linebacker.
He is.
And the secondary, while young, is athletic and has a ton of potential.
It's all starting to come together, isn't it? Napier's vision is becoming clearer, and with the support from the athletic department and the talent they're bringing in, there's a real sense of optimism building around the program.
I agree. It's not going to happen overnight, but there's a belief that Napier is building something special in Gainesville.
And with his job now secure, the impact on recruiting could be significant, right? Recruits want to play for a coach who they know will be there, who's invested in their development.
Absolutely. And Napier can now sell his vision with the full backing of the university. I mean, that's huge, especially when you're going after top targets like Trimble Jones Jr.
Landing a player like Jones would be a massive statement, wouldn't it? I mean, it would show that the Gators are back in the mix for those elite recruits in the country.
Oh, yeah. And imagine the impact on the rest of the recruiting class. Success breeds success.
Okay, let's be realistic for a second, though. It's not all sunshine and rainbows in Gainesville, right? I mean, there are still some skeptical fans out there who aren't convinced that Napier's the right guy. They're tired of losing, and they want to see results now.
Of course, there are going to be doubters. Florida's got a proud tradition, and fans expect to be competing for championships every year. But building a program, it takes time. It's a process.
So how can Napier win over those skeptical fans? What needs to happen to turn those doubters into believers?
Well, winning cures everything in college football, right?
It does.
But it's also about showing continued improvement, you know? Continuing to develop those young players and making the right moves in recruiting and the transfer portal.
It's about building trust, right? Showing the fans that this program is headed in the right direction and that Napier's the right man to lead them there.
Exactly. And that starts with finishing this season strong. They've got 4 tough games left. But if they can pull off a few upsets and maybe sneak into a bowl game, that would be a huge step in the right direction.
It would show that this team is resilient, that they're bought into Napier's system, And that the future is bright.
And that momentum could carry over into the offseason, into recruiting, into next season. It could be a real turning point for the program.
So while there's still work to be done, it's clear that the Florida Gators are on the right track.
They've got the right coach in place. They've got a talented young roster. And they've got a clear vision for the future.
It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together and letting the process unfold.
And that's something Gators fans should be excited about.
You know, it's interesting when you look at what's happening at Florida now, you can see some parallels to other programs that have gone through rebuilds.
Right.
You can't just expect a complete turnaround overnight, can you?
Nope, you can't. And, the good example, I think, is Kirby Smart at Georgia.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he took over a program with tons of potential.
Oh, yeah.
But they weren't quite there yet. You know what I mean? It
Really?
took him a few years to really instill his culture and build the system and recruit the right players.
Well,
But when he did, oh, man, they became a powerhouse.
yeah, they did. That's a great comparison, I think. And it highlights how important patience is in college football. You can't just hit the reset button every time things get a little rough, can you?
No, you can't. There are going to be bumps in the road, setbacks, growing pains.
Yeah.
But as long as you believe in the coach and the direction of the program, you got to trust the process.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're seeing with Napier and the Gators, right? There's a plan in place,
Mm.
and they're sticking to it. It's not about quick fixes. It's about building a sustainable winning culture.
Right. It's about laying the foundation for long-term success. And that takes time, commitment, and belief from everyone involved,
No.
the coaches, the players, the administration, and even the fans.
For sure. It's easy to get caught up in the, week-to-week results,
Oh, yeah.
but sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. And with Napier at the helm, I think the bigger picture looks pretty bright for the Gators.
I agree. He's got the experience, the vision, and the work ethic to get this program back to where it belongs.
It really is exciting to think about what the future holds for the Gators. They have the talent, the coaching, and now the stability to compete at the highest level.
We've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? I mean, everything from the rationale behind keeping Napier to the state of the team, the challenges and opportunities ahead, even the fan reaction and the importance of patience. It's been a real deep dive into the heart of Florida Gators football.
Yeah, we've analyzed, assessed, and explored the future of this program.
And ultimately, I think the key takeaway is this. The Florida Gators are building something special. They have all the pieces in place, and it's only a matter of time before they put it all together.
I couldn't agree more. It's been a pleasure discussing this with you, Olivia. Your insights are always spot on.
The pleasure was all mine, Liam. Always enjoy talking Gators football with you.
And to all you Gators fans out there, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your support. We'll be back soon with more insights and analysis. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.